All right, so this is going to be part 2 of my personal story, my personal journey of becoming the love and relationship coach that I am today, and how I've overcome the struggles in my own personal life to get me to this point right now, where I am traveling the world, engaged, and absolutely loving this business that I've created and helping women all over the world to find love and open their hearts. So the second part, if you haven't watched the first part of my video, I really recommend watching that first. That's where I really started talking about like the first big painful moments of my life that really catapulted my own personal development journey. But in this episode, in this video, I want to talk about, God, I feel like I'm like on TV. I guess I am on TV. In this episode, we're going to do this. In this episode, where I really want to talk about, well, first off, the embarrassment that comes around asking for help, and 2, how I actually found a witch and how a witch actually helped catapult and catalyze my own spiritual journey. I have so many of these stories, it's just weird. So yeah, I want to talk about first, leaving off from where I was last time, around this idea of knowing that you need help or wanting help in relationships and getting relationship coaching, but feeling embarrassed by it. I think what I've noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I've noticed is that lots of times when it comes to asking for help, we as women really shy away from it. Men seem to have no problem, just like go out there and take names and like do what they need to do to get ahead. But for women, I feel like when we want to ask for help, we are afraid of seeming weak. We're afraid of, you know, maybe admitting to ourselves that we can't do it all by ourselves. And, you know, I think it's easier when we're asking for help maybe in areas of, you know, nutrition or business, but when it comes to relationships, it's like, it's really personal. It's really, really personal because it's talking about matters of the heart. And the matters of the heart are like some of the most vulnerable, sacred spots that we have. And so just, you know, bringing somebody else that you don't know into your personal world and sharing those deepest, darkest secrets can be really scary. I know that's how I felt for a long time. And it really took, it took magic, it took a witch, it took miracles from the universe to slap me in the face to get me to actually like commit to doing this relationship coaching for myself. And now look at me, I'm standing here as a love and relationship coach. So I just want to really dedicate this video to talking about why relationship coaching is so important and why you shouldn't be feeling like you're scared of it or feeling embarrassed about needing help in this area of your life. You know, we think about it, if we think about it like business, we invest, we go to college, we spend what, 30, 40, sometimes 50,000 or more, $50,000 on our career business education so that we can ensure that we're setting ourselves up for success in life, in business. But then we think about relationships and we just assume that we are going to have it all figured out, right? And that we're going to have the most perfect relationship right out the gate without investing any money in it, without actually taking the time to do the self-work and to do the introspection to set ourselves up for that same healthy foundation for success in that area of our life too. So it's a really big paradigm that I think needs to be shifted around actually just thinking about relationships just as a category, just as you would business or nutrition or any other area in your life that you would dedicate time to studying and learning. But I didn't think about this in the past. Like, that's not how I thought either. I was just thinking, no, I'm gonna have it figured out. Like my parents figured it out, like I can figure it out too. But as I was saying in my last video, after 10 years of this dating cycle of just this hook and fizzle, just failed relationships, I realized that maybe I actually do need to get some help and figure this out for myself. But I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know who to trust. And so I just kept trying to figure it out myself. And I remember a very specific day. I was driving home from work and I was at a stoplight, and this woman drives by in the car next to me. She stops at the stoplight next to me and she looks over And she looks over again and she just stares at me. She just stares at me at the light, and I'm like at the signal, like, who is this weird woman staring at me? And she rolls down the window. She's like, roll down the window. I need to talk to you right now. I roll down the window. She's like, pull over. I need to talk to you. This is really, really important. And I'm like, okay, let's pull over. So we drive into a parking lot. She gets out of the car. Long story short, she tells me, I don't know what it is about you, but I got a really strong energy pull that there's something going on in like your relationship life or something that is like really blocked, and that you really need some support and some help with that. Is that right? Is there something going on with you? Like, is everything okay? And I was dumbfounded. I'm like, what are you talking about? How do you know this? Like, I don't know you. So anyways, she then goes on to tell me that she's a witch. And I don't believe in witches. Like, it was a very weird encounter, but I was intrigued and I was curious. And I like reading tarot cards, and I like, thinking about the universe and manifesting. And so I was like, okay, well, like, let's go along with this just to see where this goes, because this doesn't happen every day. And so she's like, I want you to meet me tomorrow, and I'm going to do a reading for you, and I'm going to help you through this and help you clear this block. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So she gives me her address. The next day, luckily my friend was in town visiting, and I'm like, girl, we've got an errand to do. So thank God she came with me, because I'm not going alone. She came with me. We go into this very weird, sketchy part of town. I show up at her house. She does this reading for me. She's got candles, she's got the cards, she's got just her whole essence. And she's telling me now that she wants to take me to this store, to this witchcraft store, to get the potions, because her grandmother is going to be doing this whole moon cycle ritual for clearings. And it just so happens that in the next few days, the full moon's going to be there, and she's going to be able to do this clearing. And at this point, I'm like, okay, this has got to be a scam, but I'm kind of too far in, so let's see where this goes, right? Like, what's the worst that could happen? And so we go in my car, and I take this witch woman to a witch store, and she goes in, she's like, don't look at the black cat. Whatever you do, don't look at the black cat, because it will curse you if you look at it. And no joke, we're walking into this witch store, and it's everything you could imagine it being. Like, it's got the frog legs in jars, and it's got like weird incense all around, and there is a black cat, and it is literally staring at me, trying to get me to look at it. Like, I can't make this stuff up. Anyways, we go and we get the ingredients, she buys it, she takes care of it, and she's talking about, the next steps and things. She's talking about me needing to rearrange my furniture and me needing to light candles and these things. And at this point, I gave her the ingredients. I said, I'm happy to have your grandmother do her ceremony for me. Thank you for doing this block release work. I think this is where I need to end it. Like, I can't go any further down this road, but thank you for your good intention. And I left, and it was a very, very strange encounter. But long story short, a few weeks later, I got dumped. Again, literally, again. And I was crying. I was crying in my car. And I was training a new woman on the job. I was in sales, and I was going to people's homes to do selling of solar panels. And I had a new shadow trainee that was going to be watching me do this in-home sales presentation, and I just fell apart in the car. And I just started telling her, I got dumped again. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I have these massive blocks around love. And it was almost like this girl, I had never met her. She was sent from the heavens, and she just completely comforted me in that moment and told me of a woman that completely had changed her life, that was her fairy godmother. And she introduced her to me, and that fairy godmother ended up being my coach and my mentor for a really long time, and helping me to step into my power in relationships and to really learn the principles of femininity. And everything that I started to learn through her, I started to apply and practice and teach, and to my friends and things. And things started to transform overnight. No joke, within a few weeks after starting to do the learnings, the teachings, and explore some of this personal development space around relationships, a man that had put me in the friend zone for over 2 years came up to me one day and asked me out, and we started dating ever since then. And we started dating for the next 6 years, and now we have been traveling the world and we're engaged, and it's been incredible. It's been incredible ever since. And I'm still in awe of how far I've been able to come from that day when I was with this witch. And not to say that you need to be meeting a witch to make your dreams come true, or a fairy godmother. That just happens to be my personal story. But I want to let you know, love, that I am that love angel for you. That I really feel so connected now into my soul, into who I am. And who I am is that love angel for you, to help transform your journey without the crazy frog legs or black cats or magical spells. I'm just here to hold space for you. I'm here to let you know that whatever your blocks may be, we can move through them together. And I've done it with so many women, and I want you to be the next one. But whether it's now or down the road, it doesn't matter. I just want to share my story here and let you know that blocks can be a really big limiting factor in how we show up. And even if we don't even know that we have blocks, they can really, really limit and impact the way that we show up and the way that others receive us and see us. So if this is something that you're curious about, message me, email me, write a comment on this video. I would really, really love to know some of your takeaways and some of your thoughts around this. This is kind of embarrassing for me to share because you guys might just write me off and think I'm a total nutcase. But I have a lot of weird synchronicities like this that happen in my life, and it was the catalyst that I needed. It was the slap in the face that I needed that said, you know what? I don't need to be afraid. I don't need to hide from this. I need to take care of this. And as soon as I did, everything shifted. And my life is literally drastically different because of it.